Hey guys, it's Paul.
And Jestina Keys.
It's Netflix and No Chill. Justina's back. I didn't fire her for ruining Jessica Jones last week.
No, it's just school. Being an adult.
I'm still kind of mad.
Sorry.
But it's Netflix and No Chill, the show about Netflix with people with no chill. This week, Jessica Jones starts hurting people. And not like hurting people like physically, like hurting people emotionally. Because we have this heartfelt conversation between Jessica and her mom while they're stuck in the cell that Carl had put them both in. And they were talking about, like, basically, she was, for lack of a better word, just like throwing bricks through Jessica's perfect idea of what her life was prior to the accident, and finding out that her family really wasn't as perfect as she thought it was, and then her mom wasn't quite the monster that she's making herself out to be. And it hurt, because especially talking about a Ferris wheel and talking about how much she saw that Jessica loved it, and it was painful.
My heart.
It was such a good episode, and I really loved everything about it. So at least it makes the last episode feel better, because as I said, it was kind of a filler episode. It was basically like everything that happened to the mom. But yeah, it was good. Trish is still losing her mind.
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, she's clearly on drugs, but not on drugs. Like, I'm not on drugs. And it's like, that's what addicts say when you're on drugs. Pretty much it. And then there's a lot. It's basically just a very heartfelt episode between Jessica reconnecting with her mom and them escaping the police, because she did call the police and had to not let her mom get caught.
Yeah. No one just hurt me. I don't want to talk about it.
Then we had...
Well, it's just... Okay, so I watched this with my mother after getting her into Jessica Jones in the first place and binging the whole first season together. And we're watching it, and she looks at me and she goes, "That better not be Jessica's mom. I swear if they did that, I'm going to be so mad." And then, of course, it was. So she made this point where she's just like, why do they do that to her? Why do they, give her that small hope? Because this isn't going to end well. And then, her mom's basically a monster. But not, but is, but not. And it's just, man, it hurts my heart.
Because something's going to go bad.
It's going to go bad.
We're getting this reconnection, and it's not going to last. We know it's not going to last. It's just one of those things where we just know something bad's going to happen.
My heart.
But that was Jessica Jones. Lost in Space. I love this show. And this particular episode, episode 3, I noticed kind of like a jarring feeling that the series doesn't have an opening theme song except for episode 3. Episode 3, we get this beautiful sprawling opening to it, and then it raises to a crescendo, and then boom into the classic Lost in Space theme song that we know and love, and I'm just I'm just geeking out. It was bad. It was I'm glad that we didn't watch it together, because that would have been embarrassing when I cackled like that.
That's still funny.
But yeah. So this is a Dr. Smith heavy episode. We finally get to see how Dr. Smith ended up on the show, and we also get a cameo from her sister Selma Blair, and she was just a fun character that got left behind, because Dr. Smith, who is June, her real name is June Marsters or something like that. I can't remember, because it doesn't really matter, because she's taken the persona of Dr. Smith. Basically just usurps her sister and takes her life. Takes everything, because her sister was just yeah, I know you're such a screw up and everything, and I know that our planet is failing, but at least for the time being, I'm going to give you my house, and I'm going to give you everything, because yeah, because I'm leaving. I'm going to Alpha Centauri, and I'm going to go live a new life on the new planet where everything's not going to shit. And but you get to have this, and she was just like, I get to be you, and then she realizes she was way too happy about that, and then looks at her champagne and realizes she was drugged, and she literally takes and cuts out the little receiver. Like, this is a vicious woman, and it's the villain that we deserve, and it's the villain that we love. She is going to be such a very antagonistic person, because while this is all going on, she's literally sneaking into everybody's room and reading diaries and reading all these things so that she can basically have a bird's eye view of who the Robinsons are. And by the way, the one thing that I noticed from this, Robinsons are some heavy sleepers. Because, like, she's just walking through and she's thumbing through stuff and just reading, and everybody's just like, yeah, I'm just sleeping. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. This woman's just literally like...
Well, maybe they take something to sleep. We don't know.
They would have to, because it's literally, like, as close to me and her, and she's just like...
And they don't even notice. They're just asleep. They're just assed out.
It's thumbing through it. It's like, No, somebody gets that close. Like, I've had my mom try to wake me up, and, like, I've punched her. And it's bad, but, like, don't get that close to me. Like, the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to start swinging.
Well, the thing is, I'm a really light sleeper, so, like, all it would take is, like, my door to squeak, and I would be awake. I would know.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, you would have...
I'd immediately be like, what's going on? Who's here?
So, yeah, so that is that episode. Also, I did get to check out Violet Evergarden. This anime is going to hurt.
Oh, no, I don't like that. That's how Your Lie in April is, and I haven't even finished it.
So basically, this all could change because obviously a lot can happen. This girl was basically brought up to be a weapon. We don't know if she's actually all human or not or whatever. It's like it's still very vague on what her backstory is, but she was basically brought up to be a weapon, and that's the only thing she knows. This world was in the grips of what their version of World War II was.
Oh, man.
And she was the Colonel's personal bodyguard, and ended up losing both her arms to save the life of her Colonel. And we don't know if the Colonel is alive or not because, vague. We're vague on those details, whether or not she's alive, but she doesn't really have any idea of what to do because she's never lived a life outside of the army. And this is basically her kind of coming to grips with being a human being and not being a weapon, and also having to live life with two metal arms because she lost both of her arms. And I love this one. The first episode was really sweet. The dub is awesome. I love the dub. It's fantastic. And after Aiko reincarnated, I was really happy that this dub didn't suck as bad as that did. But it's going to hurt you. There's a flashback scene where she literally saves the general or the colonel, and they're in a tunnel, kind of like waiting out the bombing, and then she stands up and literally her arm falls off.
Oh, like, my God.
Her arm falls off, and to get through there, she literally bites down on his clothes and tries to drag him with her teeth up the stairs. And it's just like heartbreaking.
Oh my God.
But I really do want to see where this goes. So she's her day job will now be becoming an automail doll, which is basically in this world, most people don't know how to write. They don't know how to read and write. So they go to this section of the post office to have someone else write correspondence to other people. And so she wants to do this because something her colonel told her is that he loves her, and she doesn't understand the concept of love and has to learn this through there. So I got a feeling this is going to be heartbreaking, but I think we're going to watch it. I think we're going to watch it and cry.
That's me with your lay in April.
Yeah. But
and how I was with Yuri.
But that's it, guys. That is this week's episode of Netflix No Chill. She's here. I didn't fire her. I wanted to. I did.
You love me too much.
I did. I love her. But yeah, she really pissed me off. I was mad. Triggered.
Well.
Hardcore trigger.
Happens.
That's it, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell because
get those notifications.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you want to know when we post things?
Exactly. We post things all the time, but we're not insane about it. But just make sure that you're doing it and checking it out. All right? See you guys next week.
Bye.